Hey y'all, this is Jessica with Bless Your Heart. Let's make some bubblegum beaded keychains today with some acrylic rounds. I'm going to gather up all of the stuff that I'm going to use, and I'm going to get ready to get started. I'm going to take the protective coating off one side that I'm going to work on, and I'm going to use the hinge method on these little pieces of vinyl that I have cut with just my big hole punch that I've got from Hobby Lobby. I will list everything that I'm using down in the description box below with some links so they're easier for you to find. I'm going to use the hinge method and my squeegee just to kind of push that vinyl on, and that's going to help me with lumps and bumps and bubbles. And I'm going to go in and use my X-Acto to hollow out where that hole is, and any overlap that's on the side of the keychain, I'm going to go ahead and get that off too. When both of the pieces of vinyl are adhered to my little rounds there, I'm going to put my decals on. I just made these up myself in Silhouette Studio with some scrap holographic vinyl that I had in my stash. I'm going to put them on, kind of burnish them down really well, and move on to the next step. For this project, I'm going to use some UV resin. Now, I do not have high quality UV resin. This is just something I got from Hobby Lobby. I don't use a whole lot of UV resin, but I do believe after this project, I'm going to invest in a better quality UV resin. I'm going to just smear a really thin layer of this UV resin and cure it underneath my UV light until it is no longer tacky. Now for the keychain part. We are going to use beads from Platinum Mousse Beads, and hardware and everything else is either from Amazon or Hobby Lobby, and like I said, I will have them listed below. To get the cordage to stick to the round here, I'm pulling the two tails through the loop that I made in the actual cord. I'm stringing both through the bead and the spacer, and I'm going to just do what I feel is cute in this situation and check out my handiwork. To secure all that beading in place, I'm going to tie a knot like you would a balloon. I'm going to put 2 fingers on the back of that bead. I'm going to wrap that cording around my fingers, the bottom of the bead, and back to the back of my fingers. And I'm going to pull those tails through that loop that I'm making between my fingers. I'm going to pull that cording through as taut as possible. And that is how I'm going to secure all of the beads for this one. When I'm happy with that knot, I'm going to take that excess cording and I'm going to string it back through that top bead, and I'm going to pull it out before the spacer. I'm going to lay it on my surface, and I'm going to tie 2 basic square knots. It's an over, pull it through, stretch it tight, over, pull it through, stretch it tight again. And I'm going to cut that excess off as close as I can get to that knot without touching the knot. Pull that knot back through that top bead so you can't see it, and there we go. For this one, I'm going to try to tie it a little bit different way, and we're going to see how we turn out. So don't forget to take that extra little backing off, that protective layer, and I'm going to string my cording in the exact same way. I'm going to put both tails through that hole, and the loop that I am making with this cordage, I'm going to pull those loose tails through, and that is going to anchor our cording to the round. Now we move on to the beads. You're just going to string them on however you want. Spacers, no spacers, hardware, no hardware. You do what you feel is cute and right. So for this one, after I get that lobster claw clasp thing in there, I'm going to just trim off some of this. There's just too much. And instead of tying my knot straight away, I'm going to bead that back through that top bead, and I'm going to do my knot that way. I'm still doing the same thing like you would tie a balloon. Put it around both of your fingers and pull that tail through that little loop that you're making right there. And I'm going to do that twice. Lay it down and do my square knot twice, just like with the other one. But what this does is keep that cording completely hidden. With the first one, there's going to be a little stretch of that cording coming around the top of that bead, and with this one, there's not going to be. So you pick your knot, you do how you want to do it. I bet no matter what, it's going to turn out great. And here we go. Super simple and super cute. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope to see you again soon. Bye.